how can you find a spiritual teacher or a spiritual guru, like many people would define a person guiding you spiritually? This is a question that can be an ongoing question, but is definitely stronger at the beginning of a spiritual journey, when we are new to spirituality, or we are new to a specific holistic discipline. Let's say we are new to shamanism and we are searching for someone that can guide us, inspire us, because there is so much to choose from that we don't know exactly what where to move and who can be a guidance for us. First of all, we need to say that spirituality is a necessity, not even a choice, but a necessity of our soul that needs spirituality for to evolve in life. Then the choice is within spirituality, which tool, within the tools of spirituality, which tools are the ones, or which tool is the one that is the right one for me in this moment in time, that can help me and support me to start the journey or to continue the journey. So my advice would be at the beginning, of course, how do I choose? We are speaking about spirituality, so this is not a choice that is done from the mind perspective. It has to be a choice that comes from your heart. So you ask the universe to send someone that can guide you in this moment in your evolutionary scale of your life, which doesn't mean that it's going to be the guru for your own life, especially because then we need definitely to give the definition who is the real guru in life. It might be an answer that we already know. It's definitely an answer that we already know, but our mind doesn't expect this answer. But let's say at the beginning, how do I find a person, a guru that can inspire me? I ask the universe to send someone that can help me. Then I wait for some signs. This would be the shamanic way of choosing. Wait for some omens to come my way. So to some synchronicities, some messages, someone that is inviting us to attend an evening, a gathering, or a name that is constantly popping out when we are online. So that could be a good starting point. Then there is the moment, because we have a request, we have a quest, maybe we would better to define that, the quest for the search for knowledge. And then there is the meeting with this potential person. So how do we need to behave? What do we need to pay attention to when we meet this guide? First of all, it has to be a guide or a person that in the way she or he speaks and acts, there is a correspondence. So there has to be a mirror in between words and actions and this person's way of living. Otherwise, if there is no correspondence, it's just good in teaching, but is actually not really embracing the teachings, regardless of which school we are talking about. Considering that all the teachings comes from experience, and specifically even more those of shamanism, it has to be a person that has experienced what is teaching to you. Then, of course, it's important that has his or her own baggage of knowledge, which can come from any sort of source, having other masters, having studied, having explored in some other books. But there has to be quite a deep level of studying aspect as well. It cannot be, because sometimes we see people, especially talking here on YouTube, where you understand that behind, maybe they read an article and then they decide to record the video. Or maybe not, they did some ears but they misunderstood. And so what they are sharing is simply based on a limited knowledge, on a limited viewpoint. So you need to see that the person is actually being able to space out in different levels of conversations, not only the topic that is teaching, because this would be a level of knowledge that has come from a search that he has done, or herself has done as well in life. It means I've digged around, I've searched around, this is what has been working for me, this is what resonates with me. So this other element of not criticizing the other paths, the other ways, because there is not one way only, but simply say, in all the search that I have done, this is what has resonated with me. But please feel free to investigate further, feel free not to believe what I'm saying, instead of being a person asking you to blindly following this person, because then it's where the person would have the ego part involved, is where the mind is involved, the ego is involved. Well, when you are a teacher, when you are a sharer, a spiritual explorer, and you are sharing your experience and your knowledge with others, you need to be able to understand that you are simply a vehicle, that you are simply a tool. So those guides that decides to that say that following other ways is forbidden because there is not one way, there is one way only, is definitely an element that is not the right guru for you. Having said that, I need to open a bracket, because, for example, in a spiritual path where there are different schools, it's better that you stay on a school, on a path first, before shopping around and move to one journey to the other one. Otherwise, your knowledge will be always on the level of surface and not deep enough. And this will also allow you to understand, after having digged in different schools, having a wider knowledge, and decide what to take from one tradition and the other one. But this is something that you can do only after some years of spiritual journey. Like, for example, if I need to make the example to my personal experience, and I have to mention Buddhism. In Buddhism there are many schools, so I decided not to be in one school only, but to try to learn a little bit of each tradition, so that then when I decided what to take that was valid and I applied for me, it was based on many schools. Or, like, for example, shamanism is one path only in each, that and it contains different traditions. But then you can take, this is again the same thing I've decided to do, take one thing from one tradition, take one thing, another thing from another tradition, and then making your own baggage, your own amount of knowledge, because it's quite difficult to embrace a tradition and 100%, because there is always something that you may like from other traditions and that you may want to take on board, and this is absolutely fine. But at the beginning, they always, spiritual people always recommend you to stay on one path, because that is also has the power to forge your discipline, which is essential in whatever habits you need to have in your life. And it means you are going in this direction, so deeper, instead of spreading out. So it would be just an expansion. If you are moving in an expanded way, you're not going anywhere. While if you are going straight into one direction, at least you are making a progress in that knowledge. Then you can shift with that suitcase of knowledge to the other tradition. And then, of course, ideally choosing the 2-3 traditions that resonate with you. Or it can also be that you incorporate many ways of, like, say, you want to work with the energy, with the energy in general, energy healing that can be done in shamanism, that can be done in Reiki, that can be done in another form according to what is the real way that is coming to you. Because, and how do you know and how do you understand that is the one for you? It will, your heart will resonate with that teaching. Like also the person, your guru, your teacher, your heart will resonate with what the teacher is saying. And your heart will feel that these words are the right one for you. There might be, of course, you will not like your guru 100% because he's a person, he's a human being. In the same way, we don't like ourselves entirely 100%. The same way we struggle to go along with the other people around us, and there are always these elements of critics, of inner suffering that is coming from inside ourselves. But at least on the basic elements, do his words resonate, her words resonate with what I'm saying, with what I feel in my heart, or with what I need right now. And it might be also another mistake that happened. After, I don't know, you stay with the teacher, with the guru, after 1 year, you still feel that his teaching, her teachings are fine, but then you think, you have the feeling that you have learned everything, and so you move to another person. So this is, of course, a mistake that is coming from our own mind, because our mind gets bored after a while. Our mind gets its sense of self-confidence, which at the beginning was not in place over there. So our mind feels that after a while it's fine. I can share or teach the same things. I don't need to go further. But we need to remember that the process of learning goes on your own life. If you shift from a teacher to go to another one, it's fine. If you shift from a teacher to be entirely on your own, it can be good for a while, because it means, I don't know, after going and attending courses for 20 years, 10 years of your life, so I'm not speaking about one, I'm not speaking about a course, you decide, okay, now it's the time to share what you learned. It's the time to share these teachings. Aside, you can still keep learning, or you can take a break, but then at some point you will need to restart, because the vastity of knowledge is endless. So there will always be things that we don't know, and so that infinite slowly becomes finite, becomes defined. But it's like a universe of knowledge that we need to gain. So there is always this process, and it's also good for an element of self-work, of self-knowledge, because when we are in touch with different opportunities for thoughts, opportunities for reflections, there is where we have the opportunity to keep going in the work around ourselves.